Obi-Wan feels the trap closing days before it springs. A secured corridor in the executive building goes dark on Jedi surveillance, and clone guards are reassigned without a Senate order. It is not routine, it is preparation. Anakin is summoned alone, told it is a private matter of state. He goes because he still trusts the office, and because he wants answers no council meeting will give him. Obi-Wan follows anyway, cloaked by haste and a single choice. He will not arrive after the damage is done. Inside the Chancellor's suite, the doors seal. The air turns still, like a courtroom waiting for a verdict. Palpatine begins to speak of loyalty, of betrayal, of power that the Jedi refuse to teach. Anakin stands at attention, listening. Obi-Wan acts before the vow can form. He cuts the power grid to the suite, plunging the room into emergency red. He breaches the side entrance with a precision charge taken from a Republic armory. The blast is small, but the message is not. Clone guards rush in. Obi-Wan disables them with stun settings and saber strikes that hit armor joints, not flesh. He grabs Anakin by the wrist and pulls him back through the smoke. One sentence lands like a hammer. "Do not listen to him." Palpatine does not chase. He simply watches them flee, and he smiles as if the escape is part of the design. Seconds later, a silent alarm flags the Jedi as intruders in the Chancellor's personal chambers. Obi-Wan forces Anakin into a hidden service lift used by maintenance droids. He routes them into the underlevels, away from cameras and Senate traffic. Anakin tries to turn back, but the doors close, locking him into the consequences of rescue. By the time they reach a safe corridor, the narrative is already written in official channels. Jedi attack on the Chancellor, attempted kidnapping of the hero with no fear. Palpatine has not lost Anakin, he has gained a weapon. Public outrage. In the shadows beneath Coruscant, Obi-Wan calls the Council with one urgent warning. Palpatine has begun the endgame, and now Anakin Skywalker is the bait. Palpatine does not wait for a Senate debate or a formal investigation. He turns the attack into proof that the Jedi have moved against the Republic. Within hours, emergency channels lock, and military authority shifts straight to the Chancellor's office. Then he speaks a single command into the right frequency. Order 66 is activated early. Across Coruscant, clone officers receive the same hidden instruction. Jedi generals who have led them for years are marked as traitors in an instant. Barracks doors open, blasters come off safety. The change is fast, clean, and practiced. At the Jedi Temple, the first shots hit the outer gates. Inside, knights rush children and archivists into sealed halls. Some clones hesitate for a heartbeat. Their hands still move. The inhibitor chips do the work. The temple becomes a battlefield, but it is a battlefield the Jedi never planned to fight. Obi-Wan knows Coruscant is no longer a capital. It is a trap with walls. He takes Anakin underground, away from traffic lanes and security droids. Anakin wants to go back to the temple, to stand beside the order that raised him. Obi-Wan forces the next step anyway, because if Anakin is captured, Palpatine gains more than a prisoner. He gains a symbol. A small team of loyalists arranges a smuggling route through a medical supply convoy. They strip Anakin of his rank markers and hide his face under a worker's hood. The war's greatest hero leaves his own homeworld like contraband. Above them, the Chancellor's security feeds loop the story. Jedi coup, Jedi betrayal, Jedi purge. Senators watch the burning temple spires on distant holoscreens and stay silent to survive. As the convoy clears the last checkpoint, a destroyer in orbit changes course to intercept. Anakin's ship slips into the traffic stream, but the clones have already tagged the transponder. The hunt begins before he reaches the stars. Coruscant burns with signals as much as blaster fire. Order 66 keeps repeating through military channels, turning the Grand Army into a blade aimed at the Jedi. Every minute it runs, another outpost becomes a massacre. Yoda and Obi-Wan realize escape will not stop it. If the command lives, the purge spreads to every front. So they make a choice that risks the Republic itself. They go after the Army's control. They do not have a Senate vote. They do not have time. They take a captured communications hub hidden under the capital's traffic grid and force their way into the clone command network. The room is cold and full of humming machines. One wrong code, and they expose every surviving Jedi location at once. Obi-Wan inserts the signal. Yoda adds his authority stamp, using an old wartime protocol meant for total system failure. The broadcast goes out like lightning, a counter-command, ordering clones to stand down, detain their officers, and wait for direct confirmation from sector leadership. The effect is immediate and violent. Some units freeze, weapons lowered, as if waking from a nightmare. Others reject the message and execute anyone who hesitates. In hangars, pilots lock cockpits against their own squad mates. In barracks, brothers drag brothers to the floor. The Grand Army does not unify, it fractures. Sector commanders make their own calls. A few protect their Jedi generals and declare the Chancellor's order illegal. Others swear loyalty to Coruscant and label all dissent as treason. Republic fleets split at hyperspace lanes, with destroyers turning their guns on ships they escorted yesterday. On Coruscant, the Senate Guard moves to seal the Jedi Temple ruins. In response, sympathetic security forces seize checkpoints and hold streets for evac routes. The core becomes a maze of blockades, sabotage, and sudden arrests. Palpatine's holonet address follows within the hour. He declares the counter-command proof of a Jedi coup, and he authorizes loyal legions to restore order by any means necessary. As the first loyalist fleet jumps toward the core, Obi-Wan realizes the counter-command has saved lives, but it has also started a new war the Jedi may not survive. Palpatine moves faster than the smoke rising from Coruscant. He does not argue with the counter-command, he reframes it. He tells the Senate the Jedi have not only attacked the Chancellor, but also tried to steal the Republic's greatest hero. Then he names Anakin Skywalker as the architect of the treason, the man who opened the door for Jedi agents to strike at the heart of government. The lie is sharp because it uses a truth everyone knows. Anakin has access, fame, and reach. The Senate is already terrified. Core streets are under blockade. Fleets are firing on each other. Senators want a simple story with a single enemy. Palpatine gives it to them. Emergency hunt authority is passed within hours. Local governors are ordered to cooperate with loyalist commanders. Portmasters must scan for Anakin's identity. Banking clans must flag unusual transfers. Holonet stations must replay the Chancellor's warning on a loop. The hunt does not just target Anakin, it becomes a template. Any Jedi sympathizer can be labeled a co-conspirator. Any senator who questions the order can be marked as aiding the traitor. The Republic turns its own systems into a net. Across the core worlds, loyalty systems fracture under the pressure. Some planets comply to protect trade routes and avoid bombardment. They hand over refugees, lock down spaceports, and feed names into Republic databases. Other worlds refuse and tear out their tracking hardware, declaring neutrality and closing their borders. A third group sees profit, selling false leads and turning rivals in to settle old scores. Clone units split again. Loyalist officers demand arrests. Counter-command units protect convoys and smuggle targets through cargo lanes. Shipyards become contested ground because whoever controls fuel and hyperdrives controls the next month of war. Anakin hears the broadcasts from a hidden compartment aboard the smuggler convoy. His face fills the screen like a bounty notice stamped with the Republic seal. The hero of the war becomes the excuse for a new purge. As the convoy prepares its next jump, an encrypted Senate bulletin pings every loyalist fleet in range. Anakin Skywalker is to be captured alive, and the first commander to deliver him will be rewarded with a sector of their own. Palpatine does not mourn the loss of Vader, he adapts. Without Anakin at his side, he needs a new face for fear, someone the public can blame, and someone the loyalist clones will obey without hesitation. He reaches into the shadows of his private network and unleashes an enforcer raised for quiet work, the kind that leaves no witnesses. The Senate never votes on this position. It simply appears, announced as Special Security Authority under the Emergency Hunts. The new enforcer's first mission is not to capture Jedi, it is to cut the roads they use to survive. Purge fleets assemble at shipyards that still answer Coruscant. Their orders are simple: trace refugee traffic,
Follow medical convoys. Watch the fringe stations where fugitives refuel. If a route is confirmed, it is not raided, it is erased. They start glassing refuge corridors, bombarding landing zones, burning forests used for hiding, and turning safe valleys into ash. They strike empty settlements on purpose, so the next group of refugees will arrive to find only ruin. Word spreads faster than any holonet broadcast. Safe places stop feeling safe.
Obi-Wan and Yoda try to respond with rescue cells, but every extraction creates a trail. A single ship's jump pattern becomes a map for the purge. Smugglers demand higher prices, then vanish when loyalist rewards rise. Some captains sell their passengers out to save themselves. The new enforcer hunts the people who keep the Jedi alive: medics, temple caretakers, sympathetic senators, and slicers who forge identifications. Supply chains collapse. Hidden temples run out of food and power. Younglings who escaped Coruscant are forced to move again, sleeping in cargo holds and abandoned tunnels. And Palpatine keeps tightening the net. He does not need to find every Jedi today. He only needs to make survival impossible tomorrow. As a rescue convoy lines up for a nighttime landing on a quiet moon, the sky suddenly fills with descending fire because the Purge fleet has been waiting, and this time it is aiming to wipe out everyone who comes to help. Anakin returns to the war, not as a general with a banner, but as a weapon the Republic cannot replace. He has been blamed for treason, and every day he stays hidden, more refugees burn on Purge routes. So he makes a hard decision. He will go back into the core and hit the machine that hunts the Jedi. Obi-Wan and Yoda agree, even though it risks everything. They build a strike team from survivors who can move without Senate access: one slicer, one pilot, one clone who broke free, and 2 Jedi shadows. Their target is not Palpatine's throne, it is his eyes and ears. They begin with a courier ship carrying sealed orders to loyalist commanders. The team boards in deep space, cuts the engines, and takes the crew alive. The data they pull is worse than expected: names, safe house coordinates, payment trails, and code keys that unlock entire surveillance grids. Next, they hit the money. The slicer traces emergency hunt rewards to private accounts routed through shell charities. The team raids the middlemen, forcing them to choose between prison and testimony. One by one, Palpatine's invisible helpers become visible. Then Anakin does what only he can do. He walks into a loyalist rendezvous using a stolen clearance code, knowing the trap will snap shut behind him. He lets them believe they have found their prize because it draws out the Emperor's inner circle, the handlers who manage the enforcer, the officers who issue purge coordinates, the agents who rewrite holonet truth. When the meeting begins, the strike team hits like a timed explosion. The clone defector locks the hangar doors, the Jedi disable guards, Anakin captures the chief handler before the shuttle can launch. A single prisoner is worth more than 1,000 dead soldiers. Under interrogation, the handler breaks. He gives up drop points, relay stations, and the location of a shadow council that meets off-record to plan the purge. The network does not fall in a blaze. It falls because its spine is seized. As the team prepares to transmit the evidence to Padmé's exiles, an encrypted message lights up the captured handler's wrist unit. The Emperor knows who took him, and a recovery fleet is already inbound. Order 66 does not slow down. It rolls across hyperspace lanes like a virus, turning trusted commanders into targets. Every hour it stays active, more Jedi die, and more systems fall under loyalist lockdown. Yoda and Obi-Wan realize running will not end the purge. The only way to stop it is to disrupt the command chain that carries it. So they take a risk that no Jedi has ever taken. They decide to seize the Republic's voice. They infiltrate a secured communications hub beneath Coruscant's traffic levels, guarded by clones and sealed behind military codes. The power hums through walls like a living thing. One wrong move exposes every surviving Jedi signal in the galaxy.
Obi-Wan forces entry and locks the doors. Yoda reaches into the network and pulls up an old wartime protocol meant for total collapse, an override that can freeze units until confirmation arrives. They attach their authority stamp and push the broadcast out on every frequency the clones are trained to obey. The counter-command hits the Grand Army like a grenade. In some sectors, clones stop mid-step, weapons lowering as if they have woken from a nightmare. In other sectors, officers call the message a Jedi trick and order immediate executions of anyone who hesitates. Blaster fire erupts inside hangars. Pilots seal cockpits against their own squad mates. Brothers drag brothers to the deck. Republic fleets split at the hyperlanes. One destroyer formation answers Coruscant and opens fire on a sister ship that refuses to transmit loyalty codes. Defense platforms lock onto their own escorts. Entire supply chains break when transport captains pick sides. On the streets of the core, local security forces fracture too. Some enforce the Chancellor's emergency hunts. Others shelter evac convoys and sabotage checkpoints. The Republic's center becomes a maze of barricades and sudden arrests. Palpatine responds within the hour. He declares the counter-command proof of a Jedi coup and grants Loyalist commanders expanded powers to restore order. It is not a warning, it is a permission. Last lines. As Loyalist fleets jump toward the core to crush the split legions, Obi-Wan understands the truth. The counter-command has saved lives, but it has also started a new civil war that could erase what is left of the Republic.
Obi-Wan and Yoda try to respond with rescue cells, but every extraction creates a trail. A single ship's jump pattern becomes a map for the purge. Smugglers demand higher prices, then vanish when Loyalist rewards rise. Some captains sell their passengers out to save themselves. The new enforcer hunts the people who keep the Jedi alive: medics, temple caretakers, sympathetic senators, and slicers who forge identifications. Supply chains collapse. Hidden temples run out of food and power. Younglings who escaped Coruscant are forced to move again, sleeping in cargo holds and abandoned tunnels. And Palpatine keeps tightening the net. He does not need to find every Jedi today. He only needs to make survival impossible tomorrow. As a rescue convoy lines up for a nighttime landing on a quiet moon, the sky suddenly fills with descending fire because the Purge fleet has been waiting, and this time it is aiming to wipe out everyone who comes to help. Anakin returns to the war, not as a general with a banner, but as a weapon the Republic cannot replace. He has been blamed for treason, and every day he stays hidden, more refugees burn on purge routes. So he makes a hard decision. He will go back into the core and hit the machine that hunts the Jedi. Obi-Wan and Yoda agree, even though it risks everything. They build a strike team from survivors who can move without Senate access: one slicer, one pilot, one clone who broke free, and 2 Jedi shadows. Their target is not Palpatine's throne, it is his eyes and ears. They begin with a courier ship carrying sealed orders to Loyalist commanders. The team boards in deep space, cuts the engines, and takes the crew alive. The data they pull is worse than expected: names, safe house coordinates, payment trails, and code keys that unlock entire surveillance grids. Next, they hit the money. The slicer traces emergency hunt rewards to private accounts routed through shell charities. The team raids the middlemen, forcing them to choose between prison and testimony. One by one, Palpatine's invisible helpers become visible. Then Anakin does what only he can do. He walks into a Loyalist rendezvous using a stolen clearance code, knowing the trap will snap shut behind him. He lets them believe they have found their prize because it draws out the Emperor's inner circle, the handlers who manage the enforcer, the officers who issue purge coordinates, the agents who rewrite holonet truth. When the meeting begins, the strike team hits like a timed explosion. The clone defector locks the hangar doors. The Jedi disable guards. Anakin captures the chief handler before the shuttle can launch. A single prisoner is worth more than 1,000 dead soldiers.
Under interrogation, the handler breaks. He gives up drop points, relay stations, and the location of a shadow council that meets off-record to plan the purge. The network does not fall in a blaze. It falls because its spine is seized. As the team prepares to transmit the evidence to Padmé's exiles, an encrypted message lights up the captured